Hola, clase de español. Soy Señor Mor. Hey, you know, the other day I was criticized for not giving not vocabulary, but extra credit to the to students at the beginning of these screencasts instead of the end. So I think what I'm going to do today is just sort of send it out there right now. It might not make as much sense at the beginning, but I think you'll be able to get it by the end. You'll understand if you watch this through the entirety of it. But I'm going to give you the assignment right now. Should you choose to do extra credit for this week, you will write down for me 10 commands. 10 commands telling someone how to be a good person. Now I know that seems kind of sort of nebulous and out there, so to speak, but 10 commands, 10 mandatos, is a way to tell people how to do things that we're going to show in just a few minutes on some of our slides and some of our grammar. And if you write 10 short commands down, both in Spanish and in English, what they're supposed to mean, under the heading how to be a good person, or para ser buena persona, para ser buena persona, how to be a good person, then you can earn some extra credit for that. All right, so again, the assignment is 10 short commands telling people how to be a good person. All right, so that's the idea behind the assignment. That's something that you would just turn into me either on a note card or a half sheet of paper or something like that on Monday or Tuesday when necessary. Okay, so here, let's go ahead and get to it. First, we'll look at our new vocabulary, and I'm going to go through this a little bit on the quick side. So if you need to press pause at some point to either write some things down or to process something, or a question comes up, no problem. Feel free to do so. Here we go. Telling someone what and what not to do. Well, there's only a few of them on this vocab that actually tell you how to do that. That'll get a little bit more clear once we get into the grammar side of it. Just a moment. Here we go. El bienestar is well-being. La competencia is the competition. Dedicar, of course, is to dedicate, cognate. Deja de fumar, stop smoking. The verb fumar is to stop. Deja de fumar is the command, stop smoking. Entrenarse, to train. Again, a lot of these you'll notice are cognates, like el estrés, stress. Evitar, to avoid. La grasa is fat, as in nutrient fat. El hábito is habit. Hacer régimen means to go on a diet. The literal translation, to do a regimen. To go on a diet is its general translation. Mantenerse en forma, to stay in shape. No añada sal, don't add salt. No fumes más, don't smoke anymore. No seas, don't be. I just thought that was an interesting one, the one above. No fumes más, like don't smoke more. Like the pretext of that, of course, is that you're already smoking in some way, which, of course, we don't agree with. Just thought that was interesting. Okay, ponte en forma, get in shape. Profundamente can mean profoundly, or more generally, truthfully. Relajarse, to relax. Respirar is to breathe, like to respire. La salud is health. And ten cuidado is be careful. Ten cuidado. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at our grammar for this week. Here we go. Chapter 5.2, get this all set up for you. There they are, health habits, telling someone what to do, what not to. Commands, this is the part that ties back to your extra credit from earlier. Here we go, and we'll get started. Informal commands. You use informal commands to tell friends, children, or close acquaintances to do something. To create an affirmative command, all you do is drop the S ending of the tu form of any verb. For example, if the verb is estudiar, to study, you want to tell someone, hey, study. The tu form is estudias. Drop the S and you'd have estudia. If you want to tell someone to eat, as in eat more, you'd say come más. If you want to tell someone to, to think, which often I do, you would say the word piensa. The tu form is piensas. The verb pensar is to think. So piensas, drop the S. Piensa means think. So hopefully those give you a little bit of an idea, closer idea of what that looks like. Okay, To form a negative to command, that's telling someone to not do something, change the AS ending in AR verbs to an E, and the ES endings in ER and IR verbs to an AS. That's a fun one. Place the no before the verb and also before the reflexive pronouns. And I think that we have to fix something. Yes, we do. Let me fix something real quick here. You guys can watch me do it so you know what it's supposed to be. That should be an ES. Very good. Okay. We'll go ahead and finish that one out. Make that a little bit bigger. There it is. So, for example, the verb is caminar, and you want to tell someone don't walk, you'd say no camines instead of no caminas. It's no camines. If you want to tell someone to not sleep, you'd say no duermas, as in the phrase no duermas en clase, don't sleep in class, as a couple of examples. Okay. Some negative command forms for CAR and GAR verbs. The negative command forms of verbs that end in GAR are spelled with a GU instead of just a G to preserve that hard G sound. They don't want to change the gua. They want to just say be g, or they don't want, I'm sorry, they don't want it to make a like a h sound. So they put a GU in there to preserve the hard G. As in the verb jugar, which is to play. If I want to say don't play tennis after eating, I'd say no juegues al tenis después de comer. If I were to take the U out of there, it'd be no juegues. It'd be like a gentler G, okay? So we want to preserve that hard G sound, so that's what the GU does. Something very similar with negative command forms of verbs that end in CAR, you'll change the C to a QU in order to preserve the K sound. Example, dedicar is to dedicate. It's very rare that you'd tell someone to not dedicate to something, but this one makes sense. And this one, no dediques todo tu tiempo al trabajo. Don't dedicate all of your time to work. Gotta have some time to live, right? So, anyways, no dediques todo tu tiempo al trabajo. There's the QU as opposed to the C. So, some special endings with CAR and GAR verbs. Almost done here. Let me get this out of the way for a second. Some verbs have irregular informal command forms. Below are some affirmative and negative forms of these. So, for example, to do or to make, the affirmative form is haz, but the negative is no hagas. For poner, again, these are all like irregulars. Pon, if you want to say something like put that over there, pon. No pongas, don't put. For tener, to have, ten is have, no tengas, don't have. For ir, ve is go, no vayas, don't go. Ser is se, as in be, no seas, don't be. For venir, you have ven, which is come, or no vengas, don't come. Salir is sal, as in leave or go out, or no salgas, don't leave or don't go out. For decir, you have di, which is say, or no digas, don't say. So hopefully, though, that's a short list of about 8 irregulars, both in their affirmatives and negatives. Most other verbs are going to follow the regular rules that we looked at in this chapter, of which we are complete. So just as a quick reminder, your extra credit was at the beginning. If you want to go back and look at that, I think it'll make a little bit more sense now that you've been given a few tools for how to create commands and telling people to do some things. Again, if you have any questions or anything, feel free to email or bring them to class, and we'll try to take them in stride. Hope you're having a great day. Ciao, hasta luego, y adiós, clase.